Today we are going to talk about how to write a report. We are going to remember this. Now, the report is going to have four parts. The first one is going to be our title. In it, we are going to state what the report will be about, and the title must be a fact. Now, after that, we have the introduction. This is going to be just one paragraph in which we state both our objective and the source of our information. This is where did we get our information from. We could have made interviews, we could have just read some things, or we could have made observations. After this, we are going to have the body of the report. It will usually have 2 or 3 paragraphs. Each of the paragraphs must have a heading, and it must describe the problem or the main idea of the paragraph and also give some recommendations. Finally, we are going to have a conclusion. In this paragraph, because it's also another paragraph, we are going to state our main recommendation. Now, let's look at an example of a report. Okay, now the first thing that we must remember is that a report is a text that we write because someone else wants our opinion about something. Okay, this is a formal text. That is why we must also use formal vocabulary, formal expressions to write it. Okay, so let's look at the question. Okay, this is why we are the reason for which we are writing this report. Okay, so it is about a new sport and leisure center that was opened in the hometown. Okay, and it also says that the manager of the center wrote a letter. Okay, in which he writes to all the members of the Active Leisure Center to ask, well, first to thank, okay, for being a customer of the center, and also to ask for their opinions about the best and worst aspects of the club. Okay, and he's also asking for suggestions for the new facilities, that is, for the equipment, for the buildings that are there in the center. Okay, and now this is the example of the report. You can see it's not very that long. Okay, it is between 140 and 190 words long, so it is a short text. Okay, we can see that it has 4 paragraphs. Okay, it has the introduction, it has also the best aspects, the worst aspects, and also the recommendations. First thing, let's look at the introduction. It says, the aim of this report is to summarize the best and worst aspects of the club. The report is based on the sample of my family members who have using the club's facilities. Now, we can see that the first sentence is the objective of the report, and then the second sentence is where what is the source of information for the report. In this case, it is the family members, correct? We have some corrections that we can make here, but we're not focusing on them. Okay, let's go to the other 2 paragraphs. These are the body of the report. Okay, and we have, as you can see, a heading for each of the paragraphs. Now, in this heading, it says best aspects. That means that all of this paragraph is going to summarize the what is the best the sports center has to offer. After that, it also mentions the worst aspects. Again, it is just 1 paragraph and it is not very long. After this, it starts with the conclusions, and it's also it also makes the recommendations. Okay, now in this case, you can see that it's almost like a list of what things they want for the new facilities. Okay, so now that we have checked an example of our report, it's your turn to make your own.